Morning, Mary. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll wait for a few more people to enter in here, and we'll start going over what we're looking at here. As you guys can see, whoever's in here already, as you can see, went ahead and took a trade short on ADAP. I noticed it's hit this level multiple times. It's tried to have a run up multiple times back up to these levels. Just can't get it. So I can see a lot of people dumping their shares here. I went 200 shares short at 960, and then I pulled out 100 of those shares because it looked like it might be a fake out breakdown. I was looking for an immediate breakdown, so I got out just 100 of them just in case. But I'm thinking about re-adding those 100 right here. But I'll tell you what, it's having a struggle. You would think that at a critical place like this, it would when it finally broke, you would think that there would be a lot of people just dumping their shares. But that right there is typically a signal for a squeeze to start taking place. You know, when you come in a pre-market like this, and again, you're on a stock that was a major run up the day before, which in this case it was the week before. It was the last trading day of last week, Friday. ADAP had a killer run up. When you see it, coming back down to these levels right here, first of all, it broke back through this level and it came down here and it tapped once. You could almost consider this another tap here, even though this is officially like it's knocking on the door to this level here. And it actually had a breakthrough of the 960 mark, but it got bought right back up. And so it's had multiple tests, but it's holding that level. So this is always cause for concern. And sometimes it's best to just unload a little bit of your share size just in case. Just in case. Sure, could it continue going in the other direction and then you might have missed out on a bigger move with all those shares? Yeah, but the more likelihood often, well, I'll say this, oftentimes in these situations, it ends up just skyrocketing after that. So you just have to be very, very careful. But I will consider re-adding those shares. Like I said, we got a pretty big order there at 965. Doesn't look like there's too many takers on it though. Morning, Rav D. Good to see you, ma'am. Okay, so it looks like, I mean, it should just be, it should be dumping hard, and it's not, which means that there's a lot of people still committed to this doing well. Now, obviously, if we get enough bears to come in and start shorting this, um, I think people will get out of their position, but um, I'm just going to give a few more minutes for some more people to join us here, and we'll watch ADAP, see where it goes, and then we'll start going through the watch list over here. We got a pretty decent watch list for the day, so um, let's see. Yeah, you see, it's just there's a pretty solid case for a buy up on this. I'm just going to be ready to get out in case it starts squeezing up. Like I said, it touched once here, almost came down, then got bought up, but couldn't go any further than that. So it came down, got bought back up, couldn't go any further than that. So it came down and it tapped, and there was a brief squeeze up back up to $10, but it just didn't last. So this is looking like such a great case for the Bears that again, if this cracks and holds and just keeps getting bought back up here, I feel very confident that come the opening bell, we could get a massive squeeze. Okay, and then I would have to look to re-enter my position on ADAP. But yeah, this is just not breaking 960. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting. You know, because a lot of times when you have these massive buy-ups here after a retest of these lows, you know, and there's a massive fail on it, and you get it again, and there's a massive fail. I mean, typically that's where it starts failing. So when if it's not going to fail there, then we're just going to have to look at some other areas to get out here. So it's very yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and put in an order there. See if we can get out at 70. See if we can get a quick drop back down. Where would it be? Let's see. We might even get down there to... See, this is it. This is it. This is where it's going to very potentially squeeze. There's still a lot of bullish sentiment on this for that to be holding that level again and pumping all the way up like that again. Let's see. I don't think it's going to come back to that 70. We'll give it a shot. We'll see. What's up, Sagar? Good morning. As you can see here, I'm getting a little wrecked on that shorting attempt on ADAP. See if it's going to push. Come on. Let's get that fail again. Let's see if we can get that fail. Can we get that fail? Sagar, what you watching this morning? Good morning, Yoni B. What are you watching this morning? And we'll go over this watch list here in a sec. All right, I will move this up to 77. See if we can get a taker at 77. Setting up my hotkeys, then going to see what's popping. You'll probably be interested in CETX, Sagar. That one seems to be popping up. Oh, come on. Should be able to get a pullback to 77. Should be able to get a quick pullback to that level, but maybe not. Maybe not. May just have to get out, unfortunately. So, yeah, it looks like this is very, very, very potentially going to go for a massive squeeze, unfortunately, guys. So, it's a good attempt, though. Okay. Let's see if we can get that a taker at 10. Should be able to get a quick little retest on the back side of that. mRNA has to dump one of these days, yeah. Let me see if I can get out of this real quick. If it busts 10, we should get a drop down to 95, 90, maybe even. See if we can break 10. This might just be going on a major short squeeze. We may not get another move back. Again, here's what I was looking at this morning, guys. ADAP looked like it could be in on the backside of the move, and experiencing some weakness. And if that would have been the case, we would have broken through this support pretty easily. And it had come down here and tested that 960 area. Almost tested it here, got a buy up, slammed back down, got another buy up. You know, the bears remained in control, kept pushing it back down. And then even here, it got this buy up, but then this slam back down. And so I went short at 960. But you can see here, it broke that support twice, 3 times, and just could not continue to go. And so I was sitting here saying, you know, typically when I see something like that, that means that there's a short squeeze that's about to happen. The buyers are really, you know, maintaining, they're holding their ground. And so I went ahead, I had 200 shares short. I went ahead and got out 100. And then as it started getting bought up, I started putting in orders, but it never came back to grab my orders. So, and as you can see, it just keeps going up. So this is, you know, I'm kind of at this point right now where I'm wanting to see if there can be any kind of weakness established around these areas, so that maybe I can get in another 100 shares, and then maybe if there's enough of a pullback, I could get out. But who knows, guys? Who knows? I mean, you know, in my opinion, it was definitely a good risk to reward ratio here. You know, because had this dumped, you know, the next levels that we were potentially looking at were anywhere from the 880s down to the 780s. And, you know, on 200 shares, that's a good move. That's a good move. So I didn't expect for this to pull back this much and not give me an opportunity to get out. But it's... you know, maybe it'll still pull back to 990. Hopefully it does. Hopefully, all we got to do is get it to break through 10 one time, and it'll flush down, even if it still holds down in the 90s or down in the 80s and then curls back up. I would expect we could at least get a retest of those 90s. So hopefully this will have ended up being just like a $40 loss or something like that. Maybe a $39 loss. We'll see. And then I will have considered that a good risk to reward. So, okay, so Sauger's calling CETXDGLYAESEPRPO. Okay. Let me look here on the 15-minute. 95, yeah, it may not. I think it could still snap down in there real quick. I genuinely believe we're in short squeeze territory. I would love to see a retest back there real quick. Yeah, SPEC is toxic. I'm gonna give it a shot. I looked at it briefly, very briefly, as a matter of fact. This should be my exit here. We just need to get a good bit of selling. See if we can get a good bit of selling here. Looked like it printed down to 988. So let's see. 990. Okay, well, I've got to move on. I'll let this work itself out. I still think we should be able to get down there to 990. But we'll see. I mean, I just may have to take a significant loss on this, which will suck. It's not a good way to start the week, right? But hopefully, if it comes down to 990 and gets me out there, it'll only be about a $39 loss on that ticker so far. And I think we would be able to make that back, because what I'd be looking for now at the opening bell is another complete fail off of all these levels and a rush back down to the 960s. I think if that were to happen, we would have a very good shot at finally getting that dump. So that's the good news. We could definitely end up doing well off of this stock, even after having to take a loss on it. And it may fail here and come all the way back down. And then, of course, I'll be kicking myself a little. But right now, it's about managing risk. So I will say this, for those of you who might have missed it, I did release another episode of The Trader's Mind this past weekend. I think it's something that you guys would enjoy. Of course, I may just be a little partial here in saying that, but let me get that link for you. I'll probably post it again a little bit later on, but let's see. I'll go ahead and post this link here if you guys didn't get a chance to see it. Oh, okay. Mary said she checked it out. Okay, glad you enjoyed it, Mary. Yeah, it was called, the title of it was Taking Trades Based on Probabilities versus Possibilities. And the idea was actually given to me by Notergen's Adventure from last week. Notergen was in here talking about how I should do a Trader's Mind episode on something like that. And so I took his advice. And it was something that I had thought about many times before already. Obviously all of us as traders have thought about, how we should be thinking or trading in probabilities. We should be trading probabilities rather than possibilities. I think that's just something that all of us already know. But to be able to break it down and really talk it through, I think is pretty significant, and to be able to really get a full grain perspective on it, I think can be very helpful. And it was even helpful for me. So, but yeah, I typed I put the link in there. Okay, Rav D, looks like Rav D was able to check it out too. So good deal. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying not to get caught up on that. This is the one bad thing about getting caught on a ticker like this, that doesn't start to have immediate resolution in the pre-market is, you can end up getting caught up in it, and then you can't even go back over and review some of the other trades that you were taking. So I apologize for that, guys. I really wanted to be able to go over some of these trades. And we still got time, and I'm not planning on taking anything right out the gates anyway. So I think it's good sometimes to even watch where these end up moving within the first 5-10 minutes. I'm just really hoping this gives me a shot to get out. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to take it. I have to take it at 10.25 or something like that. $10.15. Okay, you know what I'm going to do, guys? Just for the sake of being able to move forward, and I really don't want to get caught in a short squeeze here. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and take a $58 loss on this. That's still a good profit to loss ratio. I mean, if it had worked out in my favor, I would have easily made anywhere from 150 to potentially $200, just depending on if I was able to find ad spots and stuff like that. So it was minimum 2 to 1, maybe even 3 to 1 profit loss ratio on that. So although I wasn't expecting to lose that, I really thought maybe I could keep it to a $30 or $40 loss, but we'll take it. We'll take it nonetheless. So SPY right now, as you guys can see, it's kind of still it's just teetering around these levels here. Obviously 306.84 is going to be another key area, and then let's see, 307.13 is like the main area that I'm looking at. So 307.13, and that's basically where that area is right there, 306.84. So if it gets up to that level, I'll be watching for a strong market today. I still think we have plenty of room, though. If I come here and we kind of clean up the charts a little bit here, I still think we have plenty of room to come back and retest this trend line. Guys, we got to think about what's been going on here in America. The whole issue with the protests and the riots and stuff. I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. I mean, talk about a drama-filled country. I mean, and a drama-filled world in general. I can't just say it's just with America. I mean, there's this kind of stuff going on all over the world. But I tell you what, like with coronavirus, COVID, government shutting things down, and then now all these protests and riots, and I mean, it's just it's like it's never ending. But you have to wonder how the stock market is going to react to that stuff. And honestly, I don't look at this. Look at this. It finally dropped. What did I tell you guys? It finally dropped. But if it comes back down, I'm gonna take another stab at that. PFE is another one. It had a major drop. I don't know what the news is on that. I will check it out. PFE real quick. It is a 5 billion share float, so it's a big float. Charging ahead with coronavirus vaccine, tumbles to pace the Dow's decliners. Okay, all right. So this is one of those ones that it could, if it holds this level, 35.50s, it could end up getting bought back up today. But I don't know. This one I'm going to have to move further down on my list because I'll check in on it later. BYND is just on a massive tear, so I'll be watching this for pullbacks. We are hitting some areas of resistance up here. I think it would be wise to maybe even get in. Maybe not right out the gates, but if we're seeing any resistance on any of these levels up here, whether it's this support level here, this support level here, there's a little bit of support level here. As it gets close to 140 is a psychological whole number, and I think it's possible we could see some resistance there. So I might look to just take quick, short scalping trades on pullbacks like that. AMD has been doing well for me lately, so I've just got that up there, but I really don't want to keep it at the top of the list, and it's 9:30, so I did not get a good opportunity to do anything of any significance on any of these trades. Let's see if we can get a sell-off here on ADAP. SPY's pulling. ZM's getting bought up. BYND's pulling a little. This is one I was looking for to actually break that 40 level. See if we can get a break of the 40 level on this. See if we can get that here. See if it's going to hold support. See if we can get a break of 40. Oh, that would not be good. Here, I'm going to come out half just in case. Can we get a breakdown of 40? This one's had a nice run up. This is one I meant to go over. It's had a really nice run up, but well, looks like it's getting a turnaround. Ooh, it's not good for that one. Come out half. Man, if we could get a move down, this would be beautiful. Through 40. If the SPY pulls, this could make a really good move to the downside. ADAP is struggling as well. Just jump in there. 40.67 is. See if we can get a move south here today. I think if the SPY keeps pulling, I think we can do all right. There we go. Ooh, whippy stock. Whippy stock. There we go. Never traded this one before, so it's kind of kicking my tail. Just see if we can get that flush down. See what's happening here. I think if the SPY can get a good pull here, hopefully DraftKings would follow suit. It's a chop fest. Let's just see. Boy, this stock is a chop fest. Very spready. See if we can get a move to the downside here. Trying to be patient with it. SPY's in a bit of a chop. Okay, we're losing out on this one. It's going to continue to push. Just giving it a minute because I'm watching the SPY. I would look for the SPY to just really start losing. But go ahead and come out half. And we'll just see what happens. We got 75 shares at 41. ADAP is just not doing it. It's not able to break above those areas. So that's pretty good. ZM is just on an absolute rip to the upside. BYND still getting bought up really well there. DKNG, I have a feeling this could fail. This could fail and come all the way down to who knows how far it could go down today. ZNGA was one I was watching. I'm going to remove that one. Okay, CETX double top. I'm probably a little late to the party on that one. PFE might continue to make a move down. Oh, mRNA getting crushed. Yeah, it was a good move. Good job, Sagar. AESE. Good job. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to get out of this one. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out DKNG. So I probably didn't, honestly didn't assess that one as well as I could have. ZM's continuing to be pretty explosive. DKNG, I'm just going to remove that. I don't want to be tempted to revenge trade that. AMD is pulling back pretty hard. ZS continue to make a move up from Friday. PFE just kind of teetering around. Really thought we were going to get the break on some of those levels on DKNG, but again, it just wasn't great assessment on my part. I really should have been more careful out the gates. I'm not sure what mRNA is going to do just because it's sitting on these moving averages now. I feel like it could make a move back up to the 70s area. So, believe it or not, I'd almost be tempted to go long here. ZM continuing to get a good buy up. BYND. I think a lot of this is dependent on what the SPY ends up doing today. You know, SPY looks like it's on a nice little tear right now. Now it may not be the case for the rest of the day, but certainly looking strong right now. So I'm not going to be too short biased on anything unless I'm seeing dramatic weakness or divergence from the SPY. So and I'll check out AE. So you were talking about AESE. Okay. Good job, Sagar. That's really good, man. It's really good. Spread's pretty big on ZM. Yeah, take the money and run. Take the money and run, Sagar. I'm just curious as to where this is now. Strong day. BYND showing a lot of wicks, a lot of choppiness on BYND. Buy volume looks like it's starting to wear off a little. Might be some people coming in for profit taking, but I don't know. AMD continue to get a nice buy up to these levels here. ZS, not enough volume being traded here. And it's got no previous areas of resistance. Keep it on watch just in case. UAL looks like it could be starting to get in some kind of yeah, the $30 mark might be a good resistance point. May start averaging in here if I see a little weakness on the SPY. Okay, I'm going to get in, just start averaging into a position here on UAL. It's very extended over off those moving averages. It's getting very close to that $30 mark. Now the SPY is continuing to push, so I've got to be mindful of that. Looked like it was showing weakness there, but clearly was not. I will consider adding as this gets up closer to the 30s. We'll just need it just to get enough of a pullback to the moving averages. Really like to get an ad on this. I'll take a little bit of an ad there. We got 300 now at 29.64. See if we can get a continued move down. Looking for the 29.20s. If not, I'll continue to add, bring my average up. BYND, making that move down. Might be able to get in on a nice little pullback here. See if we can get it. See if we can find a good pullback spot. UAL is kind of getting down there. Okay, so let's see if we can get first take profit down in the 2930s. Oh, nice touchdown there. Should have taken that profit. So if it comes down now, I'm definitely going to let it go down into the 30s. SPY's pulling back, which is pretty good. UAL is holding, so I don't feel really good about that. I really want to see it get crushed here. SPY's pulling. Come on, UAL. Let's break back down through the 50s. SPY's pulling. There we go. Okay, I've got to come out some there, just in case. It's holding, so give it another shot. $29.70 is our average. Let's look at DKNG. Let's see what's happened with that. Okay, that's come all the way back down. I really feel like this one ought to lose its lunch today. RavD hasn't taken a trade yet. Good job, man. That's good. AESE continues to go. Trade just, the ticker keeps getting bought up. Looks like a lot of these are making a good solid turnaround, but let's just see. ZS is just on a relentless buy up. Relentless buy up. PFE getting bought up. Gonna remove that one. It's too slow of a mover. mRNA could be holding that 60 as support now. We'll see. ADAP getting the buy up. ZM continuing to push. ZM is doing what it often does. All right, Soliger, I'll check that out here in a minute. Love for ZM to come up. You see how it's constantly proven to have chop in it, and that's a common thread with ZM. So it makes me feel pretty comfortable about potentially stepping in. I'd love to get one more push up on it up to 196ish. Or maybe upper 195s, and then start adding a position, start building a position. That is, really love for it to go up there. So don't know if we're gonna get that. So 196 is where I would like to start building a position. I'll check out SPCE. Yeah, you have to locate shares for shorting. They're not the cheapest. But yeah, this may end up being a decent move. I appreciate the heads up on that. Just don't know if I'm going to be able to take that one. UAL keeps getting bought up, so may have to think about that one. Okay, did not pick up my order at 196, so I'm going to do 196.40. See if we can get up to 196.40, and then 197.40. See if we can build any kind of a position. 198.40. SPY's continuing to look strong. ZM's going on a tear. I'd really love to build a position and get a move back down to the lower 190s. Come on. Come on, 196.40. Come on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take my first 50 shares there at 195.40. We'll take it at 193.40. We'll do our next ad at 197.40. There we go. Can we get it? Can we get 197.40? Come on. Come on. Ah. It's busted. Come on, I'll take it at 197. So we got 100 at 196.26 average. I would take 50 of those at 194.40. And then I would take the other 50 at 193.40. Or I'll just look to continue adding. Might even take it at 195.40. Let's see, could we get down there? $194.80, we'll say. See if we can get that at 194.80. If not, we'll add. Come on. Come on, ZM. Let's get a move down. There we go. There we go. Come on. No, come on. Morning, Theta Trader. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, thank you for being here today. I think we're gonna finally get the breakdown here on ZM. Wish I kind of got another ad in, but let's just see. Let's see if we can finally get this moved down. SPY's pulling pretty hard. Really want to see this come down to the 193s. See if we can finally get this moved down. It's having a hard time, but I think if the SPY keeps pulling, we'll be good. I think we can get back to the 193s, yeah. All we need is one good hard pull on the SPY. UAL continues to get the buy up. Again, I'm not looking for any kind of major sell-off. I'm just looking for pullbacks right now. So we're in 300 with the 29.91 average now on UAL. And on ZM, continuing to get a buy up. We'll see about adding here at 198.40. I think would be a good place. They take that ad away there. We'll be patient with ZM. SPY looks like it's continuing to push though, guys. So, I don't know. It's and NVAX is having a breakout, so it's pretty good for NVAX. Getting a massive breakout here. Looking at any levels. Could be a little resistance there. Could be a little resistance at the 50 level. If SPY continues to get another push, I think a lot of these other ones are going to continue to get a push. So really like to see a pullback here. I think we do really well on that. Even down to the 93 areas. Got orders out. So I think a lot of these are following the SPY around right now. So I think a lot of them are really kind of dependent on what the SPY does. NVAX is sitting on a doji right now. Previous move was a doji. We could get a move. Could get a move off of this, but let's just see. ZM is getting a push up. It's pretty far extended. So ZM continues to show this chop. It gets bought up and pulls back, bought up and pulls back. I just didn't really, I obviously didn't get a good entry point in the beginning on all of that, but maybe a little difficult to get back to those levels that we were looking to get back to. So may have to take this a little bit sooner than I wanted to on a pullback, but really like to try to size in maybe a couple, maybe another 100 shares if I can. But I want to do it safely, and I want to be patient. I don't want to just jump into it. Really hoping to get some resistance at the $200 mark. So I'm trying to be patient for it to run far enough up there to where, we can take another couple hundred shares, or average up to 200 shares, I should say. There we go. Okay, this is good. I think I'd be comfortable taking it at 199.40. Zscaler still seems like it's doing pretty well. Could make a pullback. mRNA is continuing to push. NVAX is getting that pullback we were talking about. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back. Okay, what's up, guys? I'm back. See if we can finally get this moved down. I think if we do on ZM, I'm gonna have to take 100 shares. I think at 175. Where is it? Or 195. Maybe 195.76. Really don't want to do this because this could be the move all the way down that we were looking for. $195.26 maybe. Just see if we can get that move down. See if we can get that flush. SPY's pushing, so it's kind of unlikely at this point, unfortunately, but we'll see. Yeah, I may just have to go for a $50 move there. If not, I will consider adding. UAL, it's getting a nice healthy move down. Looks like we can make it to all the way back down to the 60s. So we'll take that at 61. There we go. Come on. You should get it down to 60, 61, at least a test close to VWAP, I would think. Take 150 at 71. Well, if it breaks 72, it's going to go down, so I don't know. I'll have to remove 50 of these shares at 195.40. Basically break even on those. Maybe even 195. 70. Goes down far enough, but SPY's continuing to get bought up, so I don't see why this would come all the way down there. But I will see if I can get out those first 50 shares at 195.40. Come on. Finally broke down through the 20 EMA. I think we could test this bottom over here, maybe. If we broke 196.11, yeah, I think we could test 195.40. We'll see. SPY's pushing pretty hard though, so maybe a pipe dream at this point. But I'm gonna hold UAL for a little bit here. We're gonna hold and hope on that. Even though I do not see holding and hoping as a strategy. It looks like it could still roll over and come down. So we'll see. If I have to take a loss on that, I'll take a loss. But it's a slow mover. ZM definitely, you know, because of how choppy the action is on ZM, oftentimes it can make moves pretty quickly to the downside. So it could break through all of this and just come right down to VWAP. I don't tend to think that it's going to do that, but it, you know, it's got a slight possibility for that, and I may just have to take a little bit of a loss on 50 shares here. Let's see. Could be the move we're looking for, but I don't like how the SPY's moving, so let's just see. We'll take off the first 50 shares at 195.70. If it can get down there, we'll take a little bit of a loss on those shares. Oh, nasty buy up. 195.33. Okay. Buy up right on that EMA. Nice big buy up there. So I don't know. If we break 96, I think we could test it. So I will move it back down to 195.40. Give it a chance to work itself out. UAL still seems like it could get the drop. I would take all 300 shares at 29.61 now. If it can get that pushed back down. Okay, it's crawling back up to the 30s. See how legit this is. Yeah, that's pretty legit. Okay, so I'm going to try to get out. See if it comes back to 88. We'll at least make a few bucks off of that. $87 maybe. Okay, if we get this move, I think we will break that 9 EMA, and I think we will get out those first 50 at 195.40. Maybe even 30. Come on. ZM keeps getting bought up, guys. It's not looking good. If we've got to break 196. It's not looking good. SPY's pulling a little. Might be pulling just enough. Okay, ZM's getting bought up. See if we can break that 196 though. I hope so, Sagar. Yeah, I hope so. It's not looking good though. It's not looking good. This might be a bad day. And DKNG was kind of the boneheaded move for me today. That was kind of the move that I probably jumped on it too quickly. In all honesty, ZM is pretty strong. Spy's still pushing, so just not a lot of good decisions today in the markets for me. Um, Definitely could have made some better moves. Yeah, BYND. What I may just have to do is try to bring my average up far enough to where we could get out in the choppiness of ZM, because again, ZM is very choppy. It moves very irrationally. So I was kind of depending on the choppiness of it to get in with some good quick scalps, but apparently just my entry point was not good enough. There was one time I could have gotten out at, I don't know, almost $100 on it, but I was looking for a bigger move. And again, this plays into the psychology of taking such a big loss on DKNG. You know, had I not taken that loss on DKNG, I probably would have taken that $100 on ZM. There was a $70 or an opportunity to take $70 on UAL at one point. So you just kind of see how it just plays in. It feeds into how you trade through the rest of the day. And what could have been a much smaller losing day ends up being a bigger losing day, because you don't take the you don't pay yourself when you should. You hold out and you're looking for bigger moves to the downside. But I think you guys get what I'm saying. I mean, obviously we've all been there, but it is pretty. What was that one that you were? CTX and ASES, was it, or AESE? There it is, AESE, yeah. And that one looks like it's still moving pretty good. So really hoping ZM either gets a fail or that it gives me at least one more opportunity up close to $200 to bring my average up far enough to where I could get out safely, get out on a pullback. And BYND is kind of the move. I mean, this is kind of what I was looking for on ZM. But ZM's showing strength. And I think until the SPY ends up making any kind of a major pullback, I think it's possible that ZM and even UAL could continue to show strength. Really looking for a nice pullback on the SPY. I think that would really help our case here. And we could get a move, even back to the 193s. ZM is very, very, very overextended, very much so. Zscaler continues to make really strong moves. I mean, I'll tell you what, this stock right here just blows me away. It's extremely strong, but it's a choppy stock. This is one of those ones where you could potentially get in. Just take some quick scalping trades in and out, in and out. But you'd have to go in bigger share size, so it'd be a little riskier. I'm just getting crushed here today. UAL came all the way down to 29.72. Really would have loved to see a better move at that point. SPY's starting to get a pretty significant pullback. Could pull some of these other stocks with it, even though they're looking pretty strong. So see if UAL can get the test of 29.81. See if ZM can finally get a break down through that 9 EMA. SPY continues to show weakness. I think that could be good for us. I think we could at least make it down to the 194 levels. Can we finally get the crush through the 20-day moving average? Fighting it. ZM is fighting it, but this is all we would need just to get enough of a pullback to get out on these 100 shares here. So UAL is getting a really nice continuation to the upside, even despite what the SPY is doing. Come on. Let's get that move. Let's get that move now. SPY's pulling hard. If we can get ZM to close down below that 20 on the 2, that would be pretty good. It would break through the 5. Or the 9 on the 5, excuse me. Come on. SPY's pulling. Come on, ZM. There we go. There we go. Come on. Let's get another move down. We'll say 50 at 195.70. Come on. Can we get that? Oh, come on. Come on. Ah. We didn't get the close. We didn't get the close below that 20. So SPY's still pulling. Ah, come on. Basically double bottomed here, so it's not good. It's not good at all. SPY's getting bought up. So is everything else. Man, I was really hoping that would be it on ZM. We broke that the 9 EMA on the 5. Seemed like we had a lot of great opportunity there. Love to see SPY make its way back down to the VWAP. Get rejected off these moving averages. Tell you what though, if it remains strong, then it's going to be in bad shape here. So we got this trend going on right now on ZM. Would really love to see it bust through these levels here. Really, just if it could break 196, I think we would be so far in business. It'd be phenomenal. Thanks, Warren. Warren Mikes, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, got to be transparent. I mean, you know, it does you no good to be dishonest to others, and even more importantly, be dishonest to yourself, because that's ultimately what you're doing. I mean, you want to be a better trader. You've got to be very transparent with yourself. Firstly, I think that comes first, you know, obviously, um, because I think that will naturally help you be transparent with others. But this is just not a good start to the week. Um, SPY is just remaining strong. Levels are holding on some of these stocks, and it's just not a good start to the week. We're in a tightening pattern here, and it looks like I'm going to have to stop myself out with a pretty significant loss. At least I'll at least have to come out some of these shares. I'll tell you what, guys, this was it. This was the last opportunity to, in my opinion, to really get that move to the downside. And with SPY moving down at that point, but of course now SPY's getting bought up. This got bought up on the 9 EMA. ZM is just really looking good for a move to the upside. So what I think I could do is, if it ends up coming up, I think I can get out at least half my shares, and I would take 50 off. I would keep 50 on, and then I would just size in with 100 as it makes it close to 200. Hopefully that would bring my average way up, and I'd be able to recoup some of the loss. But we'll see. Just keeping my eye on this real quick here, just in case I have to make a very quick decision. I mean, if this does not break to the downside, like I said, I've just got to start coming out, piecing out some of my shares here. UAL. Looks like it's finally making a move. Okay, ZM's getting the break. Yeesh. I need a spot to get out on the pullback. It's just not coming back. Beautiful break on ZM. Just not giving the pullback to come out. Let's see, 198. Let's see, 198.40 I think is where I'd want to buy back those 50 shares. Can we get it? There we go. Okay. So took a $150 loss on those first ones. Hopefully I'll make that back here on UAL. SPY's making a good move down. UAL looks like it's getting a nice solid pullback. So let's see if we can get it down. Let's see if we can get our shares out there. There we go. There's half of our shares. We have 150 shares at 30.13. So let's go to ZM now. See what ZM's doing. Check out ADAP. Okay, Sagar, sorry. Okay, Matt, ZM has upper wicks as well. I think it'll break down to the downside looking at the 5-minute. Even the 15-minute chart shows that it can go downside. The green volume is the biggest on the day. That's my only concern, yeah. Yeah, ZM is... But the SPY's pulling right now. So this is kind of where I would feel... Let's see, 197.13. Okay, I'm going to bring it up, my average up. So now I got 198.14. 100 shares. The SPY's pulling. That's why I'm getting back in. UAL. Continuing. $197.14, 100 shares. Let's see, could we get a pullback there? Yeah, I doubt we're going to get a pullback there, but we could get a pullback to one. I'm going to have to really bring my average up here is what I'm going to have to do, but I want to wait to see if it can tap and break 200 before doing so. UAL is continuing to get really good continuation there. It's good. SPY's pulling, busting through VWAP. There we go. Let's see if we can get out half at down into the 30s. Oh, come on. Let's get back down into the 30s. I'll take half my shares down into the 30s. Matter of fact, I'll say 50 shares at 29.36. Go ahead and put that out there. ZM looks like I need to get out 100 shares. If it drops to 197.74, we'll do that. See if we can get that.